Hello. In this video, we're going to create DropZone. If you just move to the second process of this form, then you're going to find this little button here. This button is DropZone. If you inspect it, then you're going to find community image upload DropZone. So what it means, when you drop the image, let me just get one image here, right here, then it moves to the next process, right? So I'll be creating this little component. There are two different things, right? This is the dropping, and this one is the cropping, but I'm not going to worry about the cropping for now, okay? So in order to make that happen, I'll be using Storybook here, and then we'll be using this component. This component is built by ShadCN.io, not ShadCN, okay? It's a different organization probably. And they're providing this DropZone component. Of course, this is very different from what we are seeing here, right? Luckily, this guy is very customizable, so I decided to use this one. At the same time, this guy uses the react-dropzone behind the scene. If you are customizing it, then you can come here and then customize it. So what this guy is providing is the use DropZone hook that provides not the style but behaviors. Okay, now let's jumping in. To start with that, I'll be downloading the component. Go to terminal here and then paste, hit enter. It's gonna ask some question. Okay, I'm not sure if it's one or two. It says the file button.tsx already exists. Would you like to overwrite? No, because I don't want to lose all I built. Then this guy will be installing the new package, as I mentioned, react-dropzone. At the same time, it downloaded this component to here. Yeah, there are some errors, but we can work around it. What I would do here is, instead of leaving it index, I'm going to change the DropZone here, move it to UI component, and then delete this folder. Then we have a DropZone component here, right? I'll be copy paste to create stories file here, .stories, looking good. And then I'm gonna delete everything here, copy one of the input story file here. I probably copy from line number 1 to 16 because I don't want to type all over again. So here, paste it. And then remove things that are unnecessary. Whatever the input specific, we need to change it to DropZone. This one gonna be lowercase, looking good. Then let's take a look how it's looking, right? I'm not sure if the error will be fine or not, but let's take a look first. If you go to the Storybook, refresh it, then go to DropZone. Yeah, we have an error, right? So let's resolve it. If you go to the DropZone component, we have error here. That is because we are exporting default, if I remember correctly. Yes, correct. Then what it means, we need to import the default just by removing curly braces. And then if you scroll down here, it has a button, right? I'm gonna change it to the variant that we have. Let's go with the plain for now. Then all the error is gone. So let's take a look how it's looking. Okay. This one is working. Now we need to do matching style with this, right? What I would do is find the button and then find the variant here. It says button small, button secondary, and then it has some text and the image icon. Okay, then here I'll be refactoring it. First of all, I don't want to have this button, so I would rather just leave it as wrapper and then delete class name since we don't need it. Disabled, we don't need it. Type, variant, we don't need it. Yeah, all good. So this one, I'm gonna leave it as just a wrapper. Whatever the children will have all the styling, okay? Yeah, looking good, looking good. And then what I would do here is I'm gonna have some wrapper. Where's the error coming from? Let me see. Class name is not used, Okay, these two, we don't need to worry at this point, just to leave it. Okay, so what I will do here is I'm gonna have the render property at the story level here, render. which is on function, you can think it as the React component. This guy can have a hook inside and then whatever you can do in the React, okay? So here, return drop zone and then a button inside here. Maybe let's just have text first, edit. Then you're gonna see something like this. Awesome. This is not button, but this guy has a button behavior, right? That is because the React drop zone provides all the props here, right? Root props and then input props. This root props is gonna pass the onClick event to this div tag. That's not what I want. So in order to take out that behavior, I can just copy this guy and then destructure it, okay? Then this guy will have onClick event and other root props. I will just pass the root props only because I don't want to give the behavior of onClick. And then if you go back, take a look. It doesn't do that. But we can drop down media, but not click event, right? Yeah, looking good. Then this onClick event, we can pass to the component that we are going to create later. Okay, then I'm going to delete this class name since we don't need it. And then is drag active. Let's leave it for now. Yeah, so looking good. I know this file has a lot of things, but most of things we don't need it, okay? So if you scroll down a little bit more, then you probably find component that renders content inside of here. These contents are what you see here, the default components they are providing. But I don't want to use them, right? So what I would do is deleting all these. Just delete them, okay? Delete. And then we have another component here. I don't want to use that, so I'm going to delete them. And then let's delete something that we are not using, right? I guess these two are not being used too, so I'm going to delete that. User context is something that we're going to use later, so let's leave it. But I might keep them at the top somewhere here, because these are context API specific, right? This function, I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to delete it. Yeah. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, these are context specific. And then this one is the type for the dropzone component. And then you are wrapping the provider here, right? So then now it's a little bit simplified. We don't have anything about the children now. So then now what I would do is I'm going to create one component here. The component called DropzoneButton, I would say. DropzoneButton. I'll be creating this component inside of the DropZone file here, just to create the component called the DropzoneButton, and then should not be exported default, right? Here, I'm gonna create button. The button is from component to UI button, and then we're gonna have certain variants and size, right? If I remember correctly, it was small and secondary. So let's give the variant and size. Variant will be secondary, size to be small. It has a text with the span tag that is it, and then we need some icon, right? The icon that we want to pass is the image icon. So I'm gonna go to hero icon here, search image. Maybe we can use this guy. I'm not sure if it's gonna look okay, but let's give it a shot. Or maybe photo. Yeah, either this one or this one, but this one is more square. Maybe this one might be looking better. Let's try to see which one's better, okay? So let's create it. In the icons folder, I'm gonna copy paste one file and then call it image outline.tsx. Change the name to image outline, and then let's get the JSX. I don't know which one. Maybe let's just start with this one. Copy JSX and then paste right here. Cut, remove the rest, save, replace right here. And then I'm gonna copy this guy, paste to here. Yeah, import, come in. Yeah, image outline. Yeah, looking good. I don't know why the error is happening. Oh, it's not defined. Let's import. And where the error coming from, I think unused variables, I guess. So we don't need to worry too much, right? So then let's take a look how it's looking. Yeah, it's looking like that. Yeah, it's very different, right? There are certain things we need to fix. I guess the image icon here is a little too big, right? Let's drop the size here. Class name. Oh, not this guy. Sorry, my bad. It should be inside here. Class name, size, maybe 5 to see. Yeah, 5, it's getting smaller. Yeah, it's okay. And then the text is kind of weird, right? I guess we forgot to give the text to small here. So what I would do is measuring it. Text is 12 pixel, right? So then for the small size button, I'm gonna give the text size that is extra small with 12 pixel. Then it's looking like that. And then we need some gap, right? How much is the gap? Let me find it. The gap is, come on, where's the gap? Should be here. Yeah. And then this guy needed to have a gap. Oh, no gap. This guy has margin. Sorry, my bad. The margin is a half rem, a pixel. So I'm gonna give some gap here. Gap 2. Okay. For the flex specific, let's separate the class names a little bit because my class name is getting too long, right? Disable the specific. Let's separate it too. Yeah, much more readable for me. Then let's take a look. Oh yeah, this is good. All the state is there, right? Yeah, because of this icon, it kind of looks different, but let's leave it like that. Okay, awesome. So then basic default icon is done. But the thing is, it doesn't have the ability to add the image, right? We should be able to drop it, but cannot click it and add the image. So that's when the hook comes in, okay? So here, use DropZone context, and then I'll be receiving onClick function through this. Of course, we don't have the context yet because we haven't declared it yet. So here we're going to have an onClick, which is void, and then it's going to accept event that is mouse event, which is synthetic event from React that accept the generic type HTML element. It should be button element technically, but the React dropzone provides HTML element, not the button specific, because sometimes user pass it to div tag, sometimes to label. So we need to live with the HTML element, okay? So then we need to pass that onClick event to the value to the provider. Oh, it's a saying it can be undefined. Sorry, my bad. Then let's give the question mark here. Okay, so then looking good. Then what it means is we can get the onClick event and then pass it to our button here. onClick, onClick. Gotta be uppercase. Yeah, then let's take a look. Oh yeah, now we can edit, right? And then if you are expecting to see if we edit or not, we can just go to story here and then have the function called onDrop. When it's a dropped, we're going to receive files that is inside of the array. And then we can pass this onDrop function to here. Then we can declare some user state here. That's going to hold list of file, initially array, and the named files and set files. When we receive this file, we can just console log the files that we are receiving there. Then we can set files to files here. Yeah, so this is the problem, right? So then we can rename it. If you take a look here, it's gonna say we're gonna receive accepted files. So let's match the name, then it'll be fine, right? Accepted files, accepted files, accepted files. Yeah, they're looking good. Maybe let's take it out here for now, and then let's console log this files. Okay. So then let's check it out, right? When I add the image, then you're gonna see, oh, look at that. You can see the files. At the same time, when you drop the image here, then you're gonna see file right here too. Looking good. That's exactly what I wanted. So now let's make a quick commit and then continue. Okay. Git add, git commit, add DropzoneButton. Looking good. What else? Now I want to have a different button looking when image got added. Take a look. When you add an image here, then you're going to see the button text changes. And then when you inspect the button, then you're going to see the button variant is changed to bordered, right? Let's go to Storybook again, and then let's try to change the button text first. How I am going to do that is when you scroll up, then you're going to find source prop here. So this is the guy that can be passed to Dropzone component. And then luckily, this guy is already in the context, right? Then what it means, we can receive the source from this use Dropzone context here. With this guy, we're going to render text dynamically. When source is Tracy, then I'm going to render change text, otherwise add. Then in the storybook, we are going to create one more story. I'm just going to copy paste here. The name will be with the files. Then we need to mimic that we have a file here, right? So I'm going to do new file. The arguments will be the file beats that is an array. We can pass empty array. The file name that is a string, right? So empty array and then string that is test1. And then what we can do is passing that files to Dropzone using the source attribute here. So then now let's take a look what is going to happen. Okay. So if you go to the with the files, look at that. The text is changed, right? Yeah, looking awesome. The functionality is exactly the same. Then what I want to do is changing the button variant here, right? This guy is the bordered, right? So what I would do is I'm gonna go to the button here, pass the border, the variant, okay? Currently we don't have it, but we're gonna add it now. So scroll up here. I'm gonna have one more variant. I'll just do copy paste here and then change the name to border. Then we need to change the background colors, right? We need to find it. So here, let's find the, here. So here are all the variants, right? So I'm gonna use these. So when it's default, it's a transparent. When it's hovered, also transparent. Let me check. Yes, correct. But when it's focused, the color is different, right? When it's active, is also different. D9, D9, D9. So let's test it out, right? Just to make it active and then see if the color matches with this one, right? So what I would do is I'm going to just select one of it and then use the spoiler to find the color. Okay, D9, D9, D9. Okay, so focus and hover, the same thing. So I'm gonna just copy this guy and then use it when it's active, okay? So when it's a normal time, transparent, and then when it's a hovered, it should be also transparent, right? But when it's active, the color to be this. And when you see the borders here, border is changing slightly. If you take a look, yeah, you see border color changes, right? We need to find the border color. So let's find it. Border, come on. Yeah, a little bit lagging. Yeah, so when I have a border, yeah, here, border color default, right? So I have the colors. And then when it's a hovered, border strong. Oh, I see, then it's easy. So except default, every state needs to have this strong color. Okay, then it becomes a little easy. I'm gonna copy this color for now, and then I'm gonna have the border, okay? So here, border, and then border color to be this. Let's give it. And then when it's a hovered, then we need to give the border color that is different, which is border strong, right? I'm going to copy that and then paste here. Okay. And then I'm going to copy the whole thing and then change the state to active. Okay. So then now let's take a look, right? When it's hovered, only border color change. When it's active, take a look. Yeah, the background change, right? So that's exactly how I want it. And then let's take a look a little bit. Make sure the background color is focus active. Yeah, so active color needed to be this a little bit grayish. And then, yeah, so looking good. It's exactly the same. It's just the image icon is a little different. So that's why it looks a little bit different, but they are the same. Okay. Yeah, awesome. I think this one is good. So I'm gonna finish this one after committing. Okay. So here, git add, git commit. What I have done is add story to show when file is existing and add button variant. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye now.